So, good evening, bonsoir, hello everyone. Welcome to a tutorial by Joel, the first one of the month of July, but we consider this is still the last week of June. So, welcome from wherever you are watching. Here in Canada, today was a day off. It was a celebration of the birth of this great nation and this great country, Canada. And I know there are a lot of different opinions on this celebration day because of the most recent event that took place in the Native community. Regardless, and this is probably my 2 cents in this debate, is probably to remember that no nation is safe. No nation is safe no nation can really claim that wherever they are today, it was without any harm to any other nation, any other community. So therefore, yes, it's difficult, but let's still acknowledge the great achievement that has been done through the years, despite what happened towards the autochthon nations. Let me welcome my guest, Mountain of Inspiration. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you very much for welcoming me.
Yes, let me just plug my headphones. I wasn't sure that you'd be joining because it's a holiday today here in Canada, and I'm like, maybe it's busy. And since we didn't chat earlier, I wasn't sure that you'll be able to join. Okay, where is that plug? Okay, right there. Yes. Right. So first of all, we need to acknowledge our partners for the month of June, and being the last week of June.
July.
Yeah, it was they were part of the month of June, but because we consider this as still the last week of June, although it's at 1st of July, we still have Réseau, Biso, Basi, a network of business women. They just closed the pop-up shop they had in Belgium, in Brussels, for 30 days. Yesterday was the last day, and he ended up with a great celebration, a great feedback from the ladies, and not just the ladies, even the men, any business people that went to that pop-up shop, they kind of find they were happy because they were able to connect with other business people and connect with some customers. We also have Dahlia Show, another partner of ours. They have a show that we produce on every Saturday, although they'll be taking a break for summer. And last Saturday was the last show of the season before resuming activities back in September. We also have Mountain of Inspiration represented here. Great motivational speaker. I will encourage you to go to his YouTube channel and see for yourself the motivation, inspiration that he brings to the people who listen. We also have ADAMusiq, a producer of gospel music. And if you're looking for a producer and you live in Canada, please do not hesitate to reach out to them. They'll probably have some product for you, something for you. Another partner that we have, not the least, it's DLM Design. DLM Design can make and can create a special, unique design for you, especially ladies. She's more focused on the ladies, and whatever she makes, it's always unique. And I'll strongly recommend, if you're looking for a designer, if you're looking for a unique robe, a unique outfit for yourself, for your spouse, for your children, please do not hesitate to reach out to DLM Design. She's on Instagram, where you can get a hold of her, connect with them. Shadawear is another partner. They focus on making urban street clothes of great quality. I have even T-shirt from Shadawear, and I can testify, not just because I know the owner, but I can testify the quality is good, even the design. We also have Amen Productions Canada, our company, our parent company, who has been around since 2001, as you can see in the background with all the posters that we have. And finally, we have Elyzoé, who's a jeweler maker. She makes her own jewelry. She makes them in her own home, and it's quality. And one thing that I like about Elyzoé owner is it's a lady. She went to school to learn those skills. Let me back a little bit. She's coming from a family of jewelers, but she went to school to learn the skills, not just the skills, but also to learn how to manage a business. So she comes with a very good perspective. And one thing that I like about that, like the pieces that she create, she named them and after Congolese cities. Congolese cities. All the names are reflect an history, reflect a background of Congolese. She's from the Democratic Republic of Congo. So worthwhile to check them out and see what they're doing. Now, tonight, this evening, we decided we're going to talk about planning an hybrid event. The question could be, why are you talking about planning when most governments are now allowing people to go out and gather?
So what do you mean? What do you mean by hybrid?
So hybrid event is a combination of an event where you have some people will be in person and some people will be virtual. They'll be online.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
that is the
That's happening in America.
the meaning of hybrid. This is how I consider hybrid. So like I'm saying, the question is why? Why, when all the government, most governments are now allowing people to go back. Unfortunately, the trend is such that some people will still not be comfortable meeting with other people, and especially if they're not sure about those other people that they'll be meeting with have received a vaccine or not, or if they had the COVID or not. So because of that, some people will still be unable to be in person at some events. Do we agree?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Totally.
some people,
Totally.
yeah, some people are saying, "Oh no, you don't." Where we are, where we're living, people are resuming activities, and people are, they kind of postpone some of the events, and now it's all back in the plan, and they're planning the event this summer. Some of them, and then whoever is doing that, I'll say, go for it. If your government allow the gathering of more than 20 people, hey, more to 20 people, go for it. And, if you're safe and if everybody, all the guests are willing to meet with the rest of the guests, and, go for it.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, the truth is, not everyone right now has even received just the first dose of vaccine, and not many people are actually fully vaccinated. So the risk is still there.
Yeah. So, and again, some people are still not comfortable.
Yeah.
Some people are still uncomfortable meeting with these people. So when you're putting your event together, and this is really even for churches, for individuals planning an event, you need to be mindful that some of your key speaker, your key guest, may not be able to travel. Because if you have an event, your main event is, for example, in Europe, and some of the main guests, the key guests that you want to have to attend your event are, let's say, in some, let's put it this way, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the third wave is really starting to hit really hard.
really?
I mean, yes, the numbers are being official. Even the president of Congo had an interview where he was talking about the fact he didn't personally take the vaccine, for example. So that's another debate. Okay,
Okay.
that's another debate.
Oh.
But it shows you, and because of that, some countries I heard, I read,
Mhm.
they're planning to close the border with people coming from the Democratic Republic of Congo, for example, not allowing them
Yeah,
to
because
get.
I know that Rwanda right now is going to full lockdown.
Yes. So you see, because of those things, it is important when you're planning your event to consider
Interesting.
being hybrid. But let's first look at the comment that we have in the chat. I can see my baby daughter. She doesn't like me to call her baby daughter. Yes, Dahlia MTV. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Dahlia MTV. Hello, the big girl, Hope.
Yes. She said, Happy Canada Day. Thanks. Same to you.
Mm. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And I see here Vanessa by Design on Fête Camp. So she's talking about the graduation of Dahlia. She graduated in a Master of Women's Studies and Gender. I forgot it, but she graduated from York University. So, and Vanessa by Design also saying, hello everyone, happy Canada Day. Yes, thank you. Same to you. Happy Canada Day. Let's go back to the topic that we have tonight.
Mhm.
Planning an hybrid event. Most of the people right now, they're still thinking about happy event,
Mm.
okay? Like birthday or special milestone or wedding, things like that. But there are other types of events, even church conferences. You can have a church conference, and that used to be done in the fashion that it was to be done. You will invite the guest speaker to come to your church and have people come and gather in the same place. Thank God, right now, for example, here in Ontario, the government is allowing a certain percentage of people, depending on the size of the room, to attend your event. But what if your guest speaker is coming from a Congo, let's say Congo, or a country which is in full lockdown right now? You may not have that guest. Okay? You may not have that guest. Why? Because they cannot come out of the country. Why? Because maybe your country would not allow them to enter wherever you are. So planning ahead of time, that's where you need to be prepared. And you know, as you know, our purpose here is really to give you the tools and inspire you and start a conversation, giving you thoughts that for you to start a conversation, to start thinking, to start planning, because we insisted so many times that planning is key in whatever we're doing. And we
And
know
also
that,
one more thing.
yes.
One more thing. Even when it comes to visa being issued for the western part of the world, so Europe or North America, it's absolutely very tight. It's only for essential traveling. It's not for people doing conferences. That's not happening. Priority is given to people like a student or people who are basically supposed to come long time ago. But a person just going for a conference, in order for them to get a visa, they will have to actually justify why they must absolutely be allowed to come into Europe or to North America. It's not as easy as it was a few years ago.
Mhm. You see, those are the things that I was not aware of, but it gives you a perspective into properly planning your event.
Yes.
Okay, you need to do that. And why am I talking about planning an event when I'm more on the live streaming and audio video production? It's because that piece of services that we offer becomes important, becomes crucial for your planning event, for your event planner. I mean, whoever's planning your event need to be able to quickly incorporate those skills into the planning, those services into what they're going to offer. I'm sorry, but if today you're going to have a wedding and the only thing that your videographer or your photographer can offer is for in-person attendance, you may not get the feeling and you may not get the full enjoyment of getting the participation of your family who reside in the countries where they cannot get a visa.
Yes.
So that's where creativity becomes important. That's where,
Absolutely.
as an event planner, event coordinator, it is important for you to reach out or to listen to this kind of message, to understand that it is maybe a package that you can offer to your customers. You can suggest to your customers, letting them know that, listen, yes, I know you would like to have your parent, but unfortunately, right now, I mean, even if you plan it since last year, things can happen and they may be denied and they may be told that, yes, they have a visa, they have a 5-year visa, but they cannot travel right now. So, yes, some people are thinking about it. Some people are willing to postpone the event. But for those who cannot postpone the event, and that's where, as an event planner, an event coordinator, you can suggest them live streaming services as part of the package. You can suggest them to have a service where they can actually bring in service providers like ourselves, like Amen Productions, and say, can you help us stream our event to those people, but do it in a way that it is private. It doesn't expose our event to the whole world, because at the end of the day, it's your personal event. And
yes,
I see it. There's some people think it is fine to post their event online because it's online. But I'm here to tell you, there are ways for you, for your event planner or event coordinator, to have your event in a closed environment. Although it's virtual, although it's online, but it can be private only to the people that you invite, only visible to the people that you want to have access to. Because the truth is, yes, when you celebrate, let's say you're celebrating your wedding, do you allow just anybody from the street to start taking picture of your wedding? I don't think so. Even if, I mean, even if your bride has the most beautiful dress, but how comfortable would you be if somebody just, while in the park taking your pictures, your wedding pictures, somebody from the street just come and start taking pictures of you and your bride, or you and your groom? Just imagine. It's the same thing as putting your wedding on an online platform where everybody can see it without being invited. You see? And that's only one portion, one side of it. You can do the live streaming, just focusing on the live streaming where, going the easy and cheapest route, which is setting up a YouTube channel with private streaming, sending the link only to the people that can be part of it, and no interaction with them. Okay, you have no interaction with them. You cannot see their reaction. You cannot see what they're thinking. You cannot see how happy, for example, your parents are, because guess what? In in the sanctuary, wherever place you would be, probably for your blessing of your wedding, for example, you will not have access to your phone and see how your parent or your family reacting because you are busy, exchanging vows, for example. But what if you at a service provider like Amen Productions come and setting up things for you in a way that we can ask your key guests, wherever they are, to connect at a specific time, and we show it to you while you're doing your event. Look at how it can become interactive. This is to tell you what, in this season that we are in right now, I mean, look at it, be honest with yourself. In-person event, it's not going to be like it used to be 2 years ago. Like it or not, it will not be. It will not be the same.
As a matter of fact, even now that the government is allowing people to actually resume going to church, most families I know are simply saying, no matter what the government says, we're not going back into a physical location.
Yeah.
And these are older people, much older, in the 70s, 80s. They say they're not going back to physical church, no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Exact. So it is a reason why. Let me just check if I'm getting messages here on Facebook. Okay.
Yeah, in the meantime, what I can say that this is definitely the trend that businesses and event planners or event coordinators will have to actually deal with. Moving forward, we are going into a society where it will have to be hybrid because not everyone is going to be feeling comfortable to actually go into physical gatherings, whether they are vaccinated or not, because people have realized that, you know what, we've been exposed to this thing and now we know exactly how it can actually impact the health, so we don't want to actually go back to a place where we can actually gather people. Perfect example is also the example of a swimming pool. Swimming pool are open. People are saying, unless I own the swimming pool, I basically can just dip into the swimming pool with my own family. If it's a public pool, I'm not going because people go into the pool, they'll be spitting, they'll be doing all kind of crazy things. I open my mouth, it goes in my mouth, so it's not happening. Unless the open water is different, but the closed water of the swimming pool, if it's public, we're not going.
Yeah. I mean, although the officials may give you the assurance that it's safe, but it's a personal choice and it's a personal matter. Like we say, when it's raining, not everybody like to walk in the rain. Okay, not everybody likes it, and some people I find they like it because they can do whatever they like to do under the rain, but not everybody. So it's the same way that not everybody would be willing to get into that public pool, for example. And this is really to let everybody know now, churches, even yourself as a family, are you prepared for a hybrid event? If you're not, you need to. I have no other way to say it, but you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared because not all your key guests will be able to attend in person.
And perfect example as well. In Ontario, as far as we are concerned as well, for the school year 21-22, we already know it's going to be hybrid. Some kids will be actually going in person, and others will be still starting from home. So it's already planned. So this is already the template we have received from the government.
Yeah. So when the government is doing that, and even a couple of businesses, a couple of companies that a couple of years ago, they were, even 2 years ago, they were like, no, nobody can work from home. I mean, they are forced to consider being hybrid and allowing some people to work from home, or allowing a couple of days where people can work from home and other days they need to be in the office. Because guess what? If you try to ask everybody to be in person, Some will just quit.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what's happening.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people would just resign and just say, oh, you know what? If that's the case, I'm not comfortable being around, people all the time, and people that I don't know where they've been and who they've been in contact with. I don't want to be around them all the time. And you are telling me that I have to make a choice. Guess what? You as a business, you may lose some employees because some organizations have already decided, stay at home, work from home, work from home. We know it's not easy, but that's a reality of things, of the time we're living in. And to make it even to even insist on the side of the churches, businesses, understanding that somehow, even as a business, if you have your sales kickoff meeting, guess what? Maybe the guest speaker you like to invite is in a country or in a province or in a state where they've been quarantined, for example. And the problem is it can happen anytime. Things are evolving at a speed that what was right yesterday on June 30th, you wake up on Friday, July the 2nd of 2021, and you just get into the news that things have changed drastically and that state or that province is in lockdown. So if you didn't plan for an hybrid event, you'll be left to scramble. You'll be left to scramble. And that is why most organizations like business, companies, they now understanding that their marketing teams are now understanding the value proposition they can bring leveraging virtual and hybrid meetings gathering, because they need to be prepared.
Absolutely.
Remember I told you about that event that I went to. It was an online event.
Mhm,
We were using one of the platform for meetings, and
for the premiere.
yes, and no, not just that. Another one. It was an event. Everybody was there. Things were working fine, and all of a sudden, that application stopped working. Marketing tried. Marketing team, they tried. They called the support line of that company because they have a premium account. They call and they get someone, and they're being told that we don't know what's happening. We cannot do anything. You just have to wait a couple hours. But it was a live meeting. It was going. You have people, guests, customers, and all that. Somebody just say, why don't we switch to the one that we use for regular business? And within a couple of minutes, everybody were moved to another platform, and the meeting, kept going. But what
Yeah,
if they did not have that in mind?
yeah, you have to be flexible.
You see, and that's all part of the planning. That's all part of the planning, and that's why I'm saying it's really important to plan and be prepared for any change that can happen. I see. Yes, Keisha, welcome.
Oh, welcome. Mm. And not only that, it's also one thing. I just came across just a couple of days ago
Mhm.
in a neighborhood. A gentleman unfortunately lost four family members between April last year and January this year, to the point where the company that actually works for, they said to him, you know what, moving forward, we're not just giving you time to work from home, but we're just giving you 2 years off just to actually just process the off, because during the COVID-19, number one, when people pass away, the number of people who can actually attend the funeral was actually limited. That was number one. Number two, it was four family members that actually passed away one after the other. So it's to the point where the guy, gentleman, right now is actually on time off, but is of course he's depressed. And if someone like that it's not the only one. This is becoming the trend. So people like that, if you say to them we have an event, you have to come in person, they will simply tell you, no, you're crazy. I'm not coming in person because I know firsthand that this thing can be very dangerous.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that is the reason why we talk. I'm talking about all these things is just to bring awareness for you, entertainers like Keisha, business people like organization, understanding that your guests may not be able to come in person to your event, so you need to be prepared, and you need to be prepared using the right service providers.
Yes, sir.
Because that becomes key. Yes, on my level, I can organize certain things, but I know there are other things, other people, other organizations that I'm also inspired by. They can do great and mighty things, for example. But of course, you need to prepare that. You need to have a budget. You need to set a budget, understanding that in the season and time we're living now, you need to be able to bring in some expert, bring in, hiring people that can deliver the event for virtual guests. So if you don't, it's up to you. I mean, it's really up to you how you like to look, like, and what kind of content you like to give your family members, your customers, your guests, because it's a reality. It's a reality. There are different ways that you can do it. And then because of the needs and because of the logistics. So as a planner, this is where it's important for you, for the planner or the coordinator, the event coordinator, to get a little understanding of how the technical piece work. Getting that understanding, we're not saying the full knowledge, but understanding some of the challenges that can happen, understanding what to ask from a service provider. What are your asks? Understanding that what is the backup the service provider has in case they lose or their computer cannot support the stream. What is the backup solution that they have?
Yes, yes, yes.
Always asking those questions. And because you're going to pay for the services, you need to ask those questions. What is the backup? If your computer fails, do you have a failover? How do people get in touch with you if they have trouble connecting? Who is going to be in charge of reaching out to those key guests and prepping them for the event? You see, because some of the guests may be in Congo, right? Just there, you have a 5-hour time difference, different time zones. So 5 hours now. What time is it? 6:49 p.m. in Canada.
Yes, it is.
It's 11:49 in Congo. It's already 12:49 in Belgium. So working with those people, it's a challenge. And having the right service provider who can work through different time zones, because the world is now global. You need to have those service providers that can be flexible to work through these different time zones, taking the chance to wake up on, maybe at 4 a.m. just to make sure that they connect with the people in Congo at 9 a.m. because that's probably the best time to reach out to connect with them. Having a service provider that is flexible, that can offer that. Otherwise, your event may not be that great, and the frustration to your customers will just be even more. Because as an event planner, you want to have happy customers at the end of the service. But you also need to bring closeness to those customers from their family members, family who are abroad, who are far. Because I've seen it through some of the funerals. Since last year, some of the funerals, even the family, if it wasn't for the YouTube, it wasn't for the streaming, we would have missed that. But we felt kind of close, we felt kind of part of it because they kind of find a way to stream the service. Some of them were good, in terms of quality, in terms of the stream, in terms of the sound. Some of them were good. Some you could tell that whoever was providing the service just started doing it. Okay, so they had a lot to learn. But at the end of the day, that's where a planner, a coordinator, an event coordinator comes handy. And in this time we're living in, we're telling them, and our message today is really ask your wedding planner or ask your event planner, event coordinator, can you offer me an hybrid event? Yes, tell them straight, my guests may not be able to travel. Can you connect, make sure that my guests will be able to speak? And that may involve, for example, having a partner in that country where the guest is, or in the city, in the province where the guest is, to go there and provide them with the right tool, the right internet connection, the right camera, the right setup, so that they can properly come into the event. Because one thing I usually hear, it's people in Congo, they don't have a good connection. And I tell them, it depends on who you're talking to. It depends on how the person view the internet service. Because to some people, all the matter for them, it's a data on the phone. And we know that data connection is not the best. It's usually good, for example, for people in Congo, it's when they connect to those mobile modem. And that's one thing that we don't have here in North America, because we have internet almost everywhere. But I find that for example, in Congo, most of the telephone companies, they offer a mobile modem. It's a modem that those people can take anywhere, and on some of them, they can connect up to 10 devices. And it's usually more stable, but it costs more money. It costs more money. Just on a monthly payment, it's a lot of money for the majority of people. But if they have it, it's really good. It's usually good. So that's why I'm saying, you as a customer, as a business, you need to start thinking about this, about hybrid event, because like I said, anything can happen. You plan it, everything, you organize it so well, but on the day of the event or a couple of days before the event, your customer, your guest, or your key speaker cannot be able to travel. So what would you do? Yeah.
Just one thing I want to say very quickly as well is that you, as well as a service provider, because you seem to be on the cutting edge and to understand exactly all the intricacies surrounding this topic, it also maybe to proactively put together a package and start offering this package to event organizers or wedding coordinators or wedding planners, so that they know exactly that, yes, moving forward, we have to actually start thinking ahead, and these are the solutions that, for example, Amen TV, Amen Production has in place for us to consider. And if it's going to be an event where there will be a guest speaking out of a different country, Amen Production can actually find a way to actually dispatch a local company within that country to go and make sure that the speaker out of a specific country will have access to the proper internet connection and the proper technology to actually make sure that they speak and look very good in front of the camera. So,
indeed, yes, it's already in the plan. For right now, I'm prepared for anything that can happen within Canada. I know I can do it, and with this show that I'm doing right now, that's where it got me started. I start thinking about how to do it for people in Congo, for example.
Yes.
Yes, it's really, because at the end of the day, it's, you will not believe it. People in Congo, even in terms of videography, they have good people with great talent. But sometimes what they need is that kind of boost, and also the proper settings, making sure that they have the internet connection that's working well through that mobile modem. Then you can get the image, the quality of image and sound that you want. So it's possible, and yes, and starting tomorrow, I'll be in touch with some other people that I know, and making sure that we can work with them, and should anything happen, making sure that they're available. And of course, with this, then we require maybe 2 weeks notice, advance notice, so that we can prepare, and making sure that they are also available. But we also need to be prepared to have not just one, but a couple of them, handful of them, just in case one of them is already tied in another project or another business, then we can bring another one to take over. So it's really something that we're looking at. And maybe for those people who are watching and you are wondering and saying, where can I invest and what kind of things invest? I believe in one of the business group that I'm part of. It was one idea that I throw out to people. I say, hey, guys, you with your office space in Congo, will you be interested renting that space to talent or to content creators to come and do the live streaming in your space? Because look at it. It costs about 100, 120 to get that monthly plan for the mobile modem. Okay? So if you can get content creators to come and you can set up a schedule, proper schedule, they can come and start creating their feeds. If you have, let's say, maybe 10 of them, they come per week. And to each of them, you don't want to charge them too much money unless they are making a lot of money already. And if they're not, maybe charge them $20 an hour. Look at it, $20 an hour. $20 an hour, and then you have 10 of them coming every week, you can make $200. Just, it's a business idea. And then now, if you, with that setting, and you can now partner with us for those global events where we need an hybrid presence. We bring the people in your place. Of course, we pay you whatever fee that we can arrange, we can negotiate. But we know now for sure, if we send our guests, or we tell our event key speaker and say, you know what, we have a studio in Kinshasa where you can go. It's AC. They have AC. They have that. They have everything. All you do, present yourself. They'll set you up. You connect and start delivering your speech. And of course, you through the negotiations with the studio owner, you're making money. So for those of you watching, this is a business idea. And if you can turn it and maybe multiply it, instead of just 10 per week, you can go 10 per week. So that makes you $200 per week. So multiply by four, $800. $800, it'll probably cover the modem fee. It will cover your fuel for the generator in case you don't have power. So you always have power in your office. And of course, make yourself some money. Okay? There are business ideas and it can be done. And just imagine if then we can start expanding this and not just looking at Congo, but not just in Kinshasa, but looking at other countries, other places. And if anybody watching knows somebody who's doing it already, who has such a settings in any country in Africa, and they're willing to rent it, to partner with us for those kind of events, Let us know. Let us know. The phone number is here. Let us know. And I like to say, I'm rather open this way, so that, you know, if I don't do it, I hope somebody else will do it, and then we'll learn from that. We'll see what are the shortcomings, where they fail, and then we'll do it better. We'll improve wherever other people fail. And if we start the first, and then we'll share with you how we did it, so that somebody else may try. Because in the live streaming, I'd rather see somebody try and ask them, what was the challenge?
Exactly.
And that's why you'll be surprised. I don't know for people watching from somewhere else, but some of you already know, even the apps maker right now, they have groups in Facebook where you can ask any questions. You can share knowledge. You can share best practices. So those things, somebody else is doing them. And if you are the first one, then you can share your knowledge, you can share your expertise. What it does also, it brings visibility to others, and others may already try that. They may, give you some advice how to make it better. And that's the beauty of sharing the knowledge with others. Because when you share, people are more willing to share with somebody who shares information. If you don't want to share, then people will be like, okay, we know Joel, it doesn't share his information. Why should we share with him? But if Joel always come with information and share them with the team, then people will be, oh, I heard that you were trying this. Okay. Like I had a problem with this application, and I put it in the group. And then I got a response. Somebody else was experiencing similar situation, and they actually even went through an issue that I wasn't aware until they brought it up, and I checked and had the same issue. And then the people from the app, they reply to the group and say, "This is how you fix it." You see, but if I just kept quiet, I start going YouTube searching all over the place, it would have taken me more time than going to a group and sharing my experience. Okay, so that's why I'm really thinking, and this is my advice to all the business owners, the entrepreneurs, the churches. I mean, share this with your pastors, share it with them, let them know that yes, we have faith that things will be better. We have faith that God will protect. But until then, the government is still in place. The earthly government is still in place, and they're still issuing some orders. And as a church or any business, we need to comply to those orders.
True, and also not only that, but even these people also need to understand that not everyone is okay moving forward to actually gather in person. Not everyone. Some people are telling me, you know what, even if they say it's 100% capacity, you can go back, they're not going back. They're saying they're doing everything from the comfort of the computers. If you're not okay with that, they're not coming.
Right. Yeah, so this is what we really need to push, and talking to the people who can listen, and sometimes just share the information with them. Let them know, hey, listen, you're thinking about having an event? Okay. Listen, you may want to listen to what Joel is saying. He has a perspective. So if you consider those things, and just share it with them. And like somebody else that I was talking to a couple minutes before the show is like, I like your shows, but sometimes they're too long. They're an hour, and if it's possible for you to break them in small pieces, yes, I will probably do that. It'd probably make sure that I start breaking them in pieces and to allow you to share it to the masses and to more people and put it in front of more people. Those who cannot watch a full hour of the video, but maybe pick their interest in one of the clip or highlights of the full show. Yeah. And let's see. Oh, they're having a conversation in the chat here. Okay, about a second dose. Okay. Yeah, those unique individual. Okay. So it's saying it's only one dose for those who had the COVID. Okay. Yeah. So for those of you who be watching and later and maybe having question or just joining us right now, the question you may have is, yes, do I really need to be prepared for an hybrid event? The answer is definitely yes. Be prepared.
Absolutely.
And if you're
Absolutely.
not, start thinking about it. And if you still need to, and if you don't even want to think about it, and you need somebody to take care of it for you, I'm here. Let me know. My number is there at the bottom of the screen. Let me know. Let me know when and where are your guests? When are you planning to have your event? And we can probably work something out. And as I said, I'll be reaching out to some of my contacts in Congo and see if we can use their space so that your guests who are in Kinshasa can go in the facility and be there live and stream back to you so you can see on live your guest or your key guest how they reacting to your event, because it could be your parents that you want to have you want to see what's happening, to see the christening of the baby, or whatever event, the graduation, or whatever event that you may having abroad, and say, hey, I want my family to be part of. Let us know. If you don't want to consider the technical aspect of planning it, doing it, let us know. We can work something out and help you.
I mean, what you're saying is so true. Because as you're talking, you got my mind thinking. The world has changed tremendously, and we're not going back to the world before 2020. Now, this is a new world. This is a new system. And the solution you're actually even offering to the people in Africa is also a solution that can be contemplated for people within North America, because there are certain places, certain businesses that have access to amazing infrastructure when it comes to internet connection and stability. And in this place, you can also start thinking in terms of thinking out of the box, to start also thinking in terms of, oh, how can we start then also letting people come to our space and create a studio where they can come, like YouTube studio back in the days, about 10, 11 years ago. You could go to YouTube and then actually tape from there. How can let people come into our space and tape and also make money? Because as a matter of fact, perfect story. I don't know if you know, but a few days ago, there was a guy in Toronto. He used to own a condo somewhere downtown Toronto, a very beautiful view. And guess what the guy used to do? He said, I'm a photographer. I understand that people don't have access to this kind of view. He used to charge people $20 to go to his apartment and take pictures, even for anything. $20 on a daily basis. And when people found out, of course, he had to stop, because he was making a lot of money, because he understood that this is the season where you have to be creative. What you have can be worth lots of money.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you're bringing in this way, because I know a couple of people. They have space, commercial space
Yes.
in Ontario, in the Greater Toronto area, and it can be used. It can be used in that manner, and because all it really takes is, maybe you don't want to make something fancy. You want to make it simple. And I'll use the same example, the way I do it here. Create something like this, but in a, not in a residential, but in more commercial space, where people come, okay, sanitize everything. They just sit. They don't even touch a microphone. They don't even have the anything on the body. We just put a mic, and this shotgun mic that can capture the sound. The camera roll. Somebody just roll it, do it, and charge them per the hour.
And as a matter of fact, if you don't, I don't remember, 10 years ago, that's exactly what we were doing. You and I, we used to drive to an office space downtown Toronto to go shoot our live from an office space that was just given to us for free back in the days, because it was disposed on you. But now offices can make money through this kind of ventures. I can ask people to come out my office space and use it and charge them $50 or $100, $200 for per hour, and make tons of money.
Yes. Yeah. As a matter of fact, this is a message to all my friends in the real estate, Masood, and all of you. You know, Ari, Nicole. It's all of you. Think about it. Do you have space that we can probably bring people, those people who don't have internet, and maybe they don't have a stable internet connection, but they would like to do live, and maybe give them some space to do it or connect with the family or with other people. So let us know. You know, it's a business idea that we're sharing with everybody, and we hope that somebody will catch it and make money out of it, and invite us to be part of the production as well.
Yeah, because the truth is, in Toronto, we have come to realize not every location in Toronto has access to the same type of internet. It could be the same company, but depending on what infrastructure that the company, like let's say Bell, put together around the area, not everyone has access to the same type of internet.
Yeah.
So for example, where I live, we have low internet. But if you move 20 kilometers from here, then you can go to a space where someone has access to the best internet, because the residents, they were okay with towers actually being installed in the neighborhood. And now because of the COVID, they have access to better internet connection. So it is what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you are a business and you are an entrepreneur, you are a church, and you need some help, you need to connect with your guests abroad and in Congo or in anywhere in the world, let us know. And if you're having a challenge setting everything up, let us know. We may have some connection. We may have some people in whatever country that you're planning to do it. And remember, we are part of different groups on the web, on Facebook, on WhatsApp,
Yes.
and people are probably spread all over the globe and say they're willing to offer the space, open. They probably have a business space or studio that it can allow people to use for this type of interaction or services. And of course, we all be making money. And if that's your case and you need to start thinking about it, or you need to have us to look a little deeper in what you're trying to do, our number is there. You can call us. You can send us a message through WhatsApp, Signal, Viber. You have it. And if you appreciate what we're doing, if we kind of share an idea that strike your heart, and then you know that it's business idea you can run with, and you like to support us, our PayPal is there. Say you can, as a token of appreciation, you can send us whatever donation that you think it will encourage us to do more research and to share more content like this, or just to chat with you, and or maybe just to buy us a coffee. All right. So until then, until next time, which is next week for another tutorial by Joel, I wish you a very great weekend and a very great Canada Day celebration for those of you celebrating. But for those of you who speak French and who are born in Kinshasa, we will be meeting tomorrow on Clubhouse at 8 p.m. Toronto time, just to talk, chat, and we'll be talking about our memories of Kinshasa, the history of Kinshasa. I've some couple of articles that I found somewhere in the net, interesting. We'll be talking about history of Kinshasa. We'll be talking about our memories of Kinshasa, and also share our perspective. What do we see? What do we wish for Kinshasa, the city that saw us that saw us grow? What are we seeing? What are our vision? What are our ideas? We may not realize all of them, but dreaming is not forbidden. So we can dream, and maybe somebody will look at our dream and say, you know what, guys, I think your idea, we can make it happen. And they run with it. And, you know, personally, I like it when I share an idea and I see somebody trying it. So I will not be offended, because that's who I am. I like to see people succeed. I like to see people try on some of the ideas that I share. And I hope that it works for them. Okay, so until tomorrow, I wish you a great evening, and can only say one thing: stay blessed, stay safe, and we will talk next time. Thank you for stopping by.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.